Guys, yesterday we had a lot of information in regards to all of the anniversary stuff that's coming into the game now. Or that's coming into the game. The anniversary, the 6-year anniversary. This game has been around forever, guys. Such a huge part of my life and a lot of other people's life. But for that, we got quite a few little tidbits like of information here and there. And most of you guys will have probably seen the anniversary videos, the anniversary stream, the interviews, and all that jazz that we got. So I'm not gonna necessarily go over and watch the entire thing here on stream, but I will show a few things because I really want to talk about some of the things that, well, are quite hype right now for the future, I guess, of Guild Wars. Now, I'll preface this very, very quickly by saying that I am probably in the minority of people who are not too hyped about one of the features. Let's just put it like that. That's it though. Let me real quick find the video. Here we go. Monitor 2. Boom. Here we go. Let's grab that. So basically, wait, what? Let's turn this down. Basically, yesterday, we had this amazing video with Mike Satarashi, my man, the game director of Guild Wars, and Tom Abernathy, and I apologize for forgetting the last name. Sorry, there we go. Lindsay Murdoch, boom. And Tom Abernathy, who was right before. Anyways, you know, you're there. Tom, what a lad. Right there. Sound is off. It's kind of intended to be off right now because I'm kind of just chatting. And this is just background visuals. They showed off all the different kinds of episodic releases that we've had in the past years, which has all been great. And they talked about it. They talked about the raids. They talked about the fractals. They talked about the future of the game, and where they want to go. Some of the biggest. Why does this keep moving? Some of the biggest things that we heard from this particular were. Let me try to find this real quick.
Our first expansion.
Here we go.
Show the status of the world and show the way that it's moving forward.
Looking towards the future, we're excited to keep delivering on the promise of free, engaging episodic content in Guild Wars 2. You can expect more great things from us as we move directly from Season 4 into Season 5.
What? Directly from one season to another? It's basically like there's no need for seasons. What? No. I mean, I really like this. Yeah, actual marketing, Brayley, you're completely right there. This is good. I mean, it's good that they're telling us what they're doing, and then we're not expecting an expansion just around the corner. Now, this has been kind of, I don't know, prophesized by quite a few people, and speculated that, well, maybe they were going for an 8-episode season, maybe they were going for a 9-episode season. How long is this gonna go on? What's actually gonna happen with the scene and whatnot? And this basically just gives us confirmation. Mike, thank you for the raid. I'm a little occupied here, but thank you, super appreciate it, man. This basically gives us confirmation that, well, we're moving in. We probably have. There was somebody shared an image as well from like one of the official images that came yesterday, saying that we're about to start on the second half, something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but the second half of the season, meaning we are looking at 6-episode seasons, probably indefinitely. Season 5 is probably also going to be 6 episodes. So we're past the halfway mark. 3 more episodes, and then we're starting on season 5. But what does that mean for the future time, basically? Wait, hold on. Is that the infographic? Thank you, Cheerfox. Exactly that. Let me pop that up here. Here we go. Experience the explosive second half of season 4 and join us on the continuing adventure we're creating for season 5. Boom. Rest in peace, box scale, trying its best. KD ratio, same as mine. What? No. Jokes aside. Let's, wait, hold up. Can I just kill that? Never mind. It is going to be interesting. We can talk about that infographic in just a second. But it's interesting because if we have 6 episodes for season 4, 6 episodes presumably for season 5, where does that leave us? That leaves us with that is 369, and that is 2 years down the line. Just about 2 years from now, we're looking at an expansion, presumably, unless they're gonna like hone it back a little bit and like, guys, we're probably going to do like shorter release cadences between the episodes, and then maybe we're looking at a year and a half. But like I'm not very expectant of an expansion 3 coming by November. All right, let me close that. There we go. Coming by November, October 2019. I don't really believe that right now. Not anymore. Not with the season 5 coming. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the seasons are great. All that jazz, it's great. But I really like expansions, let's just put it like that. So it's kind of a bittersweet kind of information that we've gotten here.
You can expect more great things from us as we move directly from season 4
we can expect
into season 5.
More great things. So many more great things. Anyways, they're not saying that we're not getting an expansion. They're just saying, well, the next thing is season 5, not the expansion. Which is all right, I guess. What I want to see is them delivering on their promise, really, of giving us more frequent raids and fractal releases. When that's in place, I won't shudder at the thought of the living story, because the living story is great, but it's only so great. Deekson, thank you for the host, man. Super appreciate it. Anyways, let's continue for a second here, because there is more hype stuff that I want to talk about.
Engaging stories that expand the world of Tyria, new maps to dive into and explore, and more gameplay features that change the way the game is experienced. We've already introduced the Roller Beetle mount in episode 3, added a new raid, fractals, and more, and we're going to continue this season's story and add new feature content in the coming months.
T-Bot, thank you for the host, man. Super appreciate it. We've seen fractals. We've seen living story maps. We have seen a raid, and they show us Gorseville. This is the best thing. The second ever raid boss introduced almost 3 years ago is the one that they're pimping out here. I mean, Gorseville does look cool. But
we've got another raid.
And then we see Doom. We've got another raid, guys.
A new fractal.
And a new fractal. It's happening. It's confirmed. It's not like we didn't know this, but it's good. It's good that they're saying this. It's good that they're saying this in a promotional video. Most of us that are in the loop will already know that, well, what we're looking at in the very near future is exactly that. The next episode is going to have a raid. It's practically been confirmed. Practically. Nike, thank you for the host. Super appreciate it. But yeah, who really knows at this point, I guess. And that means every other episode is going to be either it's going to be raid, fractal, then fractal, hopefully, in an ideal scenario, right? but it's at least going to be raid, then fractal, then perhaps nothing, then a fractal, because fractals are on a bi-episodic release cadence. Yes, Cheerfox, thank you for linking the video. For anyone not watching this, there's a link right there in the chat. Or for anyone not who haven't watched this, I meant.
One of my favorite features of this.
Georges, you can't ruin this. You can't ruin this. One of Lindsay's favorite features of this. All right, let's listen to that again.
And one of my favorite features of the season, Sun's Refuge. It's a personal character instance in a familiar and historic location that goes all the way back to the original Guild Wars. You'll be able to rebuild the settlement with opportunities to unlock NPCs, collections, and rewards.
And all.
Now this is the one that I believe most people are most hyped about. The Sun's Refuge. Basically, let me take this down. Basically, the Sunspear Sanctuary. It's a very old GW1 location. Let me actually, that shaman map. Let's go. Let's find the historical map real quick. Because, assumable online map, here we go. Because the Sunspear Sanctuary is a, well, it's a very well-known, let's just put it like that, location back from the original game, back from the original Nightfall campaign. Which is probably, this is probably where it's going to be. Let's just be honest here, right? Let's just be honest. Sunspear, banners, let's pop this up again here for a second. Wait, what's happening here?
These collections and rewards.
And all of this without a monthly subscription fee.
All of this without a monthly subscription fee. Yes. Let's kill the sound. We've got all the Sunspear banners. We've got all that like Elonian look. We've got the deserty, like underground cavey look. Everything points to this being the Sunspear Sanctuary. That was the word. All right, the Sunspear Sanctuary is right here. Boom. It fits perfectly. This is the newest map that we've gotten. The Domain of Korna. It fits perfectly right beside it. It's kind of odd though, because they say that this is coming with the next thing, the next release. Meaning, well, are we actually looking at a map adjacent, more or less adjacent to the Moon Fortress? I don't know. I was expecting something way further north, but perhaps it's not completely out of the scope of possibilities for the maps to be somewhere in this region. The next map, that is. But yeah, the Sunspear Sanctuary. It's most likely going to be right next to what we already know. Now, I want to share a little bit of extra thing with you before we go completely into the crazy details of what this might be and what this might mean for Guild Wars and the future of Guild Wars, because this potentially has huge ramifications in the long haul. Please. There we go. All right. So this is an I was about to say an article, but it's basically structured like an article. This was done by PC Gamer. It was I think it's PC Gamer, right? Yes, PC Games. There we go. It was shared yesterday. It's from a Gamescom 2018 this year, like last week. What's it called? Interview with Mike Sadorashny. And the interesting bit, we're gonna listen to this real quick. What's still to come in season 4? The rest of it it's a good interview. I can really recommend watching it. I will have I'll have a link in a bit. But let's watch this bit real quick.
With Season 4, with the very next episode, we're introducing Sun's Refuge. It's a nice callback to a really iconic GW1 location that allow us to use as a springboard moving forward for the next confrontation, the next struggle that players are going to be going through. And so it allows us to build a location where players will get to know the lore if they haven't necessarily been caught up to speed. It'll give them a chance to earn new unique rewards. And in this case, we have an upgradable armor set, which is something that players have been wanting to have more choices in terms of their customization and being able to earn more of the rewards in game that they through progression and feeling that connection to the game systems that are there. We're also introducing another mastery, which means that it's more of our horizontal progression that we introduce with our...
Let's continue that in a second, or with the rest of what he's saying there. Because let's stick on to the subject of the Sun's Refuge here. He talks about these two things.
If they haven't necessarily been caught up to speed.
Or three things, actually.
To earn new unique rewards.
Earn new unique rewards. And we hear the other trailer, the anniversary video, utter some of the same sentences with collections. Now, I'm going to be a cynic here for a second and say that it's probably only going to be armor collections. And then there's going to be the merchants that are probably upgradable in some other fashion. I don't know, though. Obviously, I don't know. Now, I've seen a word pop up on the forums, on Reddit and all that, when talking about the Sun's Refuge kind of thing, calling it or comparing it to the garrison from World of Warcraft. Now, I don't actually know what that is and what that exactly is. I don't know what a garrison actually is, but what I can gather from the information here that we're seeing, it seems to me to be a personal, hall, a personal home instance kind of deal. Now it's not going to be a home instance like the home instance we already have. I don't believe that there's going to be any overlaps really. I don't think there's going to be home notes. Maybe there is going to be notes, gathering notes of some caliber. Who knows really? But maybe there's going to be slight overlaps. I don't think there's going to be much of an overlap though. I think it's going to be very, very separate from all the things that we already have, except for one thing, and this is the one thing that scares me. Rocket, thank you for the host. This is the one thing that scares me, because to me, I've been frequent viewers of the stream here will know that I have prophesized the end of guild halls ever since we started discussing solo player housing in general. Because to me, now assuming this is going to be a garrison kind of deal, which is a separate kind of thing, there's no overlapping things, that's not going to necessarily impact guild halls. But guild halls already died back in 2015. Rest in peace, guild halls, 2015 to 2015. Something like that, a system like this, which is something that a lot of people have wanted for a long time, solo, progressible, player housing kind of deal. This to me just marks the complete end of all future guild hall development. Basically, this marks the end. Which, I mean, we can argue whether or not that's a good or a bad thing, or an acceptable thing. I guess it's all right, because of the way that people utilize guilds nowadays. Guilds, like Guild Wars 2 is a solo experience camouflaged as an MMORPG in many ways, and guilds are basically the epitome of that notion. People don't use guilds. People don't use guild halls. It's nothing more than a group of people that know each other or barely know each other, depending on the guild you're in. But that all, in my opinion, that all boils down to the fact that, guild halls and guilds have not had development and a lot of features added, and all of these social aspects have not been catered to and furthered. I forget the word, but you get the gist. Ever since its implementation, really. And so it's been dead in the water for a long time. Now I'm a cynic. I'm in some ways, and Guildhall's more than most subjects, because I believe the reason why Guildhalls haven't gotten any love, any extra features added, it's because they're non-monetizable. You can't sell stuff on the gem store for a Guildhall because people won't buy it, because people don't want to spend money on a group of strangers that they don't know. So, with that in mind, I'm more than certain. I'm so certain I would legit bet money on this. The garrison system here, the Sun's Refuge, whatever we're gonna call it, is most likely going to be the next cash cow coming to Guild Wars 2. I guarantee you that this is going to be the biggest sink for gems you've ever seen since mounts. Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing. It could be a good thing. I mean, features live and die by their monetizability in a free-to-play game. That's fair. I can get behind that. That's fine. Not just gems, also gold sync, black sun. You're exactly right. Because we have the armor. It's going to be introduced with like Mike says.
And in this case, we have an upgradable armor set.
An upgradable armor set. Everything that comes into the Sun's Refuge immediately is probably going to be obtainable through some kind of collection, some kind of fetch quest, some kind of just like gold drop. Who knows what really it's gonna be from, or gold, like you drop gold and purchase something. But I guarantee you, if you want anything visual, anything beyond the merchants, anything beyond the collections that are just achievements and whatnot, if you want decorations, let's say that they're actually adding something like that. If you want a different type of building look, it is 100% going to be Gem Store. I guarantee you. Because if it wasn't, they wouldn't be making this. I'm kind of a cynic there, and I apologize for that. But this is, like I said, it's not an inherent bad thing. The Gem Store is not an inherent bad thing. The Gem Store is what funds the game to the point where this game can be free to play. As long as it's all just, what's it called? Fashion Wars in the Gem Store, I don't mind. But this is probably what we're going to be seeing.
Which is something that players have been.
Wait, did the sound die here?
More choice.
Why did the sound die?
In terms of their customization.
Well, rip.
And
oh, I know. The sound didn't die. My headphones.
Rewards in game.
My headphones did. Let's pause that for a second so I can hear as well.
Through progression and
please?
Building that connection.
Oh,
to
can you
the
please
game
not die? This is great. Anyways, let's talk about the armor while my headphones start back up. The armor is probably going to be, well, a set of either 2 or 3 collections. I think it's going to be a single. Is it red? If it is, that means it's completely dead. It shouldn't be.
We're also introducing another mastery, which means that it's more of our horizontal progression that we introduced with our expansions, so that players who are just coming to Guild Wars 2 won't have to worry about an additional level cap that has been raised. It's more about finding new ways.
This is all PR talk. It doesn't matter. The armor is probably going to be like the most common ways that we've seen armor upgrades is that we get the base armor and then we get the upgradable version, which is a little bit more decorated, which is cool. I like that. It's not necessarily going to be something crazy like collection type, all kinds of jazz. I wonder though how the Sun's Refuge is going to be introduced. I wonder if it's going to be a singular instance. It probably is just going to be an instance that you can teleport back and forth from, I wonder how many overlaps is going to have with already existing VIP passes. Is it going to be actual like merchants and banks and trading posts? I don't know. I would venture to guess that it's not. I think they're gonna want to make it completely separate from the other features that we have in the game, so as not to make it like the best in slot kind of deal. I want it to be the best in slot kind of deal. If I am to upgrade this and spend a lot of money on it, I want it to be just the same way that I've wanted guild halls to have merchants and banks and trading posts and all that upgradable shit. Like, give us dungeon portals and all that in guild halls. It hasn't happened. Maybe this is the chance. I don't think so, but maybe. I think there was one more thing here.
To explore the game and see the content in a new way.
Oh, where will it be? Never mind that. For just 1k Ectos, you can have a bank. That wouldn't actually be bad though. That's kind of the thing. Like, I'm genuinely curious to see like what the pricing differences are gonna be from, like, compared to, let's say there are overlaps. Let's say that there is going to be a trading post or a merchant and stuff like that. What are the cost overlaps going to be for that versus the guild hall or like any other place really? I spent 10k 10k Ectos on a merchant. Easy achievement right there. I would definitely drop a lot of moolah on this, but maybe I won't have to. Maybe there will only be like, this is the most likely scenario, which is what I'm trying to get at. The most likely scenario is that there's not going to be any merchant, like any actual merchant. There's not going to be a trading post. There's not going to be a bank. There's going to be specific merchants for the different collections or the different things that you can do with this hall, or Sun's Refuge or Garrison or whatever we're going to call it. It's all going to be tied into that. There's going to be no other overlaps. That's the most realistic way of seeing it, I believe. But who knows really? Maybe I am wrong. Likely I am wrong. But yeah, that is the Sun's Refuge. I'm very on the fence about whether or not I'm super excited for this or not. I am going to spend a lot of gold on it. I definitely, obviously want this. This is the announcement of this has definitely put a halt to my ideas of expanding my guild hall even further. But who knows really? Who knows really? Let's look at this real quick. Our community has spent 120,000 total years playing Guild Wars 2. This is fucking insane. This is fucking insane. It's doubled in size. Favorite mounts. That's just because of the barrier to entry. But still, 4.3 million total hours. This is crazy. Living World spans 37 episodes. I actually didn't know it was that many. This is pretty crazy amount of episodes, really. Especially considering, like, what is it? If you buy them, they're each 200 gems, something like that. New instant challenges in the Living World. 5 raid wings. This number could have been so much higher. 18 fractal dungeons. That's not bad. But then again, this is stretched over a few more seasons than the raids have. Earthgen, horrible killer. Box scale, horrible KD ratio. And we're halfway through. Guys, I'm calling it right now. What is it? The 18th? We talked about this. We had a poll here on the stream not too long ago. The 18th, I think it is. Let me look this up real quick. I think it's the 8th. Yeah. Here we go. September 18th, 2018 is most likely going to be the release of the 4th episode and the the start of the explosive second half of season 4. It's going to be hype. I'm excited. I'm excited to get in and see what the Sun's Refuge is. Even if it is shit, who knows? I'm still excited for it. Something just hit me. Is the garrison comparison. What if you can use turrets in the new instance? Well, the thing is, like, the big question is, like, is it going to be interactable? Like, is this new instance actually going to be interactable in any way, shape, or form? Is there going to be enemies? Is there going to be an event? Is there going to be, like, what is there actually going to be in this fucking thing? Is it just going to be merchants? Is it just going to be, like, trash? If it's just, like, decorating and, like, whatnot, then I don't know what to use it for. I genuinely don't know what to use it for. A lot of, like, and I know I'm in the very, very small minority here. I'm one of the few people who have spent fucking thousands and thousands of gold on a guild hall to do exactly that. Everyone wanted a home instance. I got myself a home instance. I got myself a guild. I got myself the ability to just craft and do everything in the guild hall. And so I understand why a lot of people are super excited about getting this. I'm just not one of those people. Because I already feel like I have it. I already feel like I have this system. Guilds, boom. I already feel like I have the system. I don't see it as something new getting added to the game. I see it as something that's blocking the old. It's kind of shit, like, in that regard. I understand fully why a lot of people are super hyped about the Sun's Refuge. I genuinely do. Player housing, fucking double thumbs up and everything. I think it'll probably be their way of trying to make the content repetitive, giving you missions. It better fucking give me missions. It better fucking do that. Like, right now we have guild missions, which are, like, not here we go. Which are not updated. They haven't been updated in 5 years, ever since implementation. It's stale as fuck. It gives a very subpar currency, which you spent more than you ever get. Especially if you're kind of into the currency itself. Another settlement needs your help. That's kind of thing. Like, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? My own personal bounty board, and it's gonna send me out to bounties, or what? Is it gonna send me out to bounties right outside the door of the Sun's Refuge? Unless they do a system like the guild missions, it's like, how the fuck are they gonna do, like, integrated events or missions or whatnot? Because it's crossing border lines, like, it's crossing map lines. It's not like it's spawned, like, I don't get it. You're overhyping yourself. I'm underhyping myself. I'm completely demolishing every thought about, every positive thought about the Sun's Refuge. I really am. I truly am. I see a lot of people saying all kinds of positive things. I feel like I'm, like, the only one who really does not want this system. I don't want the solo player housing. Solo player housing means that all future guild content is fucking a rip, boys. Like, I've shot a white arrow after that years ago, but now it's like the final nail in the coffin. Guild features are rip if this takes off, especially if it's monetizable. This is really good to stand up to, like, just, oh. I don't give a fuck about this. You're not the only one in it. Coolio, man. I don't know. I feel extremely ambivalent. Because at the same time as I truly understand and want to empathize with the people that really want solo player housing. But at the same time, I cannot help myself but think that we technically already have it. It's just underdeveloped. It's it's dead. It's guild halls. The reason why guild halls can't live is because they're not monetizable. They're not monetizable. People will not give money to ArenaNet for investing in the guilds. And I just feel like that's a shame. It's a huge shame. It was obvious it was coming, yeah. Everyone and their grandma has been shouting about this solo player housing for the longest time. Like, ArenaNet would be deaf, blind, and dumb if they were to ignore it. Everyone wants it. It's cool. I get it. I can empathize with it. I can empathize with both sides. It just pains me. It pains me. It really does. 100 gold, this is not solo player housing. Lynn, I'll take that. I'll take that bet. 100 gold, you saying is solo player housing. I'm taking the bet. 100 gold. I'll give you 100 gold if it's not solo player housing. And if it is, I'm getting the 100 gold, mate. I missed the start of the stream. What's going on? Did Deroir say the new house is bad? Should I hate it or start riot? I did say that. I did say that. But I mean, that's the thing. Okay, I'm prematurely hating on something that I don't know jack shit about. So take this with a grain of salt, because I'm just being a fucking pessimistic cynic right now. That's it. That's all I am. I thoroughly admit to that. I'm being a pessimistic cynic towards a probably really, really great system and type of content that's coming into the game. I'm just being salty, nothing else. It's probably, if I'm looking at this objectively, it's probably going to be fire as fuck. But I feel like after having invested more than 10k gold into, probably even way more than 15, into my guild hall, I feel like I'm allowed to just criticize the idea a little bit of them adding just a solo version of the guild hall system, which is what it seems like to me.